Hey, it's Alicia. Welcome back to my channel. I'd like to say hello to my new subscribers. Thank you for joining me, and to my returning subscribers. Thanks for coming back. And I don't make many videos, but I appreciate coming back and leaving me a comment or a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. So today I wanted to share with you some Happy Mail that I created. And I used Maggie Holmes' Parasol collection. I don't know when it came out, a while ago. A couple of years, I think. Anyway, I have the 6x8, and I have one or two of the 12x12 papers, but I never got the 12x12 stack. So here's what the papers look like. Really pretty. I love that she always adds, always adds florals and bows. Very Maggie Holmes like. So I always keep my scraps in there. I also used a couple of the chipboards. Some of the products I made were a little on the smaller side, so I didn't really use too much of that. I made a memory decks with this KS Craft Elegant, I think it's called Elegant something. I got it from Amazon. It's still available, I'll link it. So I like the spring part. It comes with some other pieces. This tag, it says love you. I didn't use that, and there's a word that says created, so I didn't use that either. And some of the supplies I used were, I bought this little tiny butterfly punch off Amazon. You'll see some of those on the project. I used my gold thread. I used some trim, this pretty trim that I had in my stash, probably from AliExpress originally. This I've used lots of times. You've seen my videos, you've seen me use this. It's plasticky. It's not fabric or anything, but it has like these little flowers and butterflies, and it's easy to cut apart to use small pieces, which is what I did. I used a couple of diamond dots, some mint green and some pink. And I used these little tiny, I think they're nail decorations. They're really small, if you can see in there. I don't want to take them out because I end up dropping them all over the house. They're really, really tiny. And those are like the bigger ones. I can open this. Oh, there we go. And then here's some really, really like minutely tiny. So I used my gem picker. Mine's double-sided. So I use that to pick them up because there's no other way, at least that I found. I have that. So here's actually what started this all. I picked up this die from Temu. I had seen Poochie, who's Poochie Tats here on YouTube, and it's a I'll show it to you this way. It's a 3-piece set, and it kept selling out. So I requested notifications of when it came back in, and it did come back in. So I purchased more than one. And this one I'm gifting to a fellow crafter who I really enjoy her videos. I really enjoy that she shows her techniques and her tips and tricks. And she's really a wonderful crafter. So I'll link her below. So it's 3 pieces, the base, and then the stitched layering, and then this piece that you can use on top, which is not, doesn't have any stitching. So I'll show you what I made. The first thing I did was I made a few embellishments. Sorry, excuse me. I made a few embellishments using the die. So this is the first one that I used, and it's relatively flat. I did use dimensional tape to prop it up, but I kept it really flat. And I had these 2 little bunnies in my stash. They were like just kind of on my table, so I added them there. I love that Maggie Holmes adds animals in her collections. And I actually made these little tiny flowers I have a die set, which I don't know where it is. It's pretty small, but it cuts this size, and then a size bigger, and then a bigger even, but they're not gigantic. They're fairly small. So I made those. I used some of the paper from the Maggie Holmes stack for these 3 layers, and then I cut out the bow. If you remember, on the die it comes attached, so I cut it out again with this glitter cardstock so that it was layered up and prominent. And here's that little butterfly that I used from the punch. And if you can see in the flowers and the butterfly, and even down here on the bunny's bow, those are those little balls that I think are for nail art. If I can find them on Temu, I'll link them. So I made that one. Then I have thread all over. Then my second one, I used this gold cardstock that I got on Amazon some time ago, and I also cut the layers out in pink foam. So I didn't have any of that really thick foam. This is from Hobby Lobby. So I didn't layer the bow. I don't know why I didn't, but I didn't. I guess I overlooked it. And I added some stickers from the collection, and this bee, and I have this punched out flower. I have this little heart piece underneath, which now I'm looking at it, I realize it's upside down. Sorry, friend. I used one of the sentiments from the sticker pack. This one says sunshine, and here's one of my little teeny butterflies. I punch them out when I have a little bit of cardstock left, and I just keep them in a jar so that I have them whenever I'm ready. And then here's the third one, which I did more dimensional. So I just used pink basil cardstock and then the foam, and I layered all 3 on foam. And I had these little gold flowers in my stash, left over from another project. I cut out the bow in this pink sparkle paper, glitter paper. I think it came from Michaels originally. I had this little sentiment hello. I made a couple of really tiny rosettes. There's 2 of them layered here. I used wet glue to put them together, so if I make them again, I'm going to use hot glue because the paper was kind of thin and it was getting torn. And I used a little butterfly, this bow that I had cut out. Sorry if I was off camera. I added one of my little teeny flowers up there. And all of them are backed in 110-pound white cardstock just to finish. So I made those. And then I forgot the die, but I have this little mini envelope die. So I made 2 embellishments with that. And this one I used some of the paper from the Parasol collection. I had this little sticky ribbon in my stash. I think it was from Michaels originally. Here's one of the butterflies that I just cut out from this trim. And I use this little die that I have that makes this little like torn notebook page. One of the die cuts left over from the die that I used. I think this is the smallest one. And I had this butterfly. I made a couple of tickets. I don't know if you can see them back there. This little camera chipboard, and then you can see I used some diamond dots on here. This one says smile. Then this one I decided just to make with the pink basil cardstock. Again, I used the same trim. There's a little puffy sticker here from the collection. I used some of this fiber in the back of the ticket that I created. I cut out this little piece from the collection, left over from when I made, excuse me, when I made the frames, and then I used the yellow diamond dots. I like how that adds a little bit. And then the ticket, and this says lovely. So I pretty much left the envelopes plain. They're plain on the back. I just did a little decoration on those. And then I made a Memorydex card using that Memorydex die that I just showed you. And I used the designer paper. I made another frame. This one is just blue. It's like to pick up the blue and the green in the paper. And I made this a shaker. You know, there you go, you can hear it. I made a little rosette. I didn't bring the die. It's one of my Tim Holtz ones that I've had in my stash. This little chipboard house. And here are some of the flowers that I created. I used, I don't know if I showed you this. I used this trim. I think I showed you. It's in my stash from AliExpress. I've had it for a couple of years. And I just put a piece there and added a pink butterfly up at the top. And the frame was cut out in this blue basil, but then I cut from these, what do you call this? It's shiny, but I forget what it's called. To make the bow more prominent. It's up on foam. This is the back. It's another piece of the design paper in the 6x8, and then I just put a little thing about myself in there. So I made that, and whoops, I think I have one more thing. Oh, I had made a sequence mix, so I found this little house in my stash. I don't remember when I ordered them. It might have came from Amazon, but I've had them for a couple of years. And so I used one of the offcuts, two of them actually. I just layered them up on each other. And I have a ticket in the back and this piece of ephemera. I used some diamond dots on the flower. This one says beautiful, and then this blue butterfly from the chipboard collection. So it's actually on here with removable dots, so she could take it off and reuse the house for something else, and use this on a card or a project. And then it just opens like this, and I put some sequins mix, the kind that I used in my Memorydex. So I'm going to get this off in the mail for a little surprise happy mail for someone who I said earlier that I admire, and I really appreciate how much they share their tips and tricks with us. If this die is available on Temu, I'll link it below. And if you have any questions, please leave me a comment in the description box. And if you would give me a thumbs up and a follow, I would appreciate that. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.